Hey there, Aquarius Sun, Aquarius Moon, Aquarius Rising. It's Maggie from Moon Directed. Welcome to my channel. Here we work with the energy of the moon to see how we can best utilize it to move our life forward in the most positive way possible. So I did channel some information for you, and I will get to that in a moment. But first, I want to take a moment to thank you for your likes, your shares, your comments, for subscribing to my channel, for helping me to grow this this work that's so important to me. It feels like a soul calling to help get the word out about the light work. And so thank you very much for helping with that. If you are a subscriber, make sure you hit the notification bell if you'd like to be notified when I upload a video. If you select all, you should be notified every time. Although I do understand with Mercury in retrograde, that's not what happened when I went live on Thursday, but that's okay. So, the channeled information. So for you, Aquarius, this is really tough. This was tough energy because what I felt was the sharp pain in the shoulder blades of my back. And I thought, is that from being hunched over the computer? And then I saw, did you ever see the Psycho movie with the knife in the shower? It's like you're being stabbed in the back. I shouldn't laugh, but the picture in my head was funny. And I felt exhausted. I felt like I've been carrying a heavy load and I'm not being appreciated and I'm working really freaking hard and people are stabbing me in the back, metaphorically speaking. It was tough. It was some tough energy. So I want to say self-care. I want to say take care of yourself. Make sure you're getting plenty to eat, that you're resting, that you're drinking water, trying to avoid a chemical imbalance in your system through drugs, alcohol, nicotine, caffeine. Oh gosh, I hate to say the caffeine part, but it's true. I did see a yin and a yang, and so the need to create that balance, in your life is so important right now. And so are you working too much and not being fully appreciated for it? Are you spending enough time on yourself, on your relationships, bringing your life into balance? What can you do to bring more balance into your life? So this is an interesting week for a number of reasons. We have the Mercury's in retrograde in Scorpio. The Sun's in Scorpio. And so that deep diving, the really going deep thing is happening. Like pulling back, like peeling back the layers of the onion and trying to get to the core of what's going on. And so on Monday, we have the 1111 gateway. And when I was meditating on the energy of that, I saw this doorway that was carved out of stone. It was the pillars of stone, and then the stone, heavy stone mantle. It was all squared off. And you step through it, but you run like within 2 to 3 feet, you run right into the back wall, which is this like concrete wall. And you have to hang the sharp left. And you can't really see what's down there. And so it's a blind entrance. A left would be the receptive energy. But I think it's more deep diving. It's more going within. It's more communication with spirit. Scorpio is in your 4th house of home. And then we have the 5th house of fun and romance. And we finish out with the week with that work-life balance. And so bringing balance into your life seems to be super important. Being willing to do a little bit of this deep dive, this nurturing of self. Are you working through issues with a maternal figure? Parents don't always know how to act. They can only do what they've been taught. And so as adults, we have to learn to look at them as people who, like us, make mistakes and have to learn and grow their way through the process, right? And so when you can pour love onto a situation, when you nurture yourself, when you care for yourself, when you give yourself the love that you didn't receive for whatever reason that made you feel safe and secure as a child, when you learn to forgive others for being so human, when you forgive yourself for being human, for making mistakes, that voice in your head that says, oh, you can't do anything wrong, when you say, wait, I'm human. And I came here to learn lessons. But there's more than that. This energy of this portal is this elevation as we continue to work our way through the ascension process here. And so my back hurts so much right now. Holy moly. Okay. there's this need to clear the karma from past lives in order to ascend. And so because we can't remember the stuff that happened, we can't remember the dramas and the things we did right, the things we did wrong, and all the lessons and everything, we made agreements with other souls to come and incarnate together and teach each other these hard lessons, because we can't remember when we come to the veil of amnesia. And so we had to bring in people that would teach us lessons, familiar ones, things that would trigger us, so that we could learn to work through that and manage that. And we're about to come up on that Pluto Saturn conjunction on January 12th. And so the deep transformation right now is we're building into that, and we go through these portals. We've got another one coming on 12/12, then we have the eclipse season, December 25th, 26th, depending on where you are, and then January 11th, and then January 12th is the conjunction, and then we could start to breathe. And as Saturn moves past Pluto, and that conjunction is easing in their space to grow and to learn, but it's the hard work that we have to do between now and then. It's 35 years since the last time they were in conjunction. It was in Libra, and that was about balance, relationship balance. And so if you were in a cycle back then, where a relationship was out of balance, you may be in a cycle now where there is a relationship that's out of balance. It wouldn't necessarily be the same one, but the lessons are there. How do you manage that? The lessons keep coming around until we learn them, and then we can move forward. Uranus is in Taurus, and that rules Aquarius, right? And so that's that chaos and that sudden change and that enlightenment, right? That creates change, and Taurus doesn't like change, but Uranus goes, no, we're going to change some stuff up here. And so that energy, the last time they were conjunct was October 23rd of last year, which was at that full moon in Taurus. And so the seeds of that were planted 18 months before. It was also part of the cycle of just 6 months before, and now we're concluding that full moon in Taurus. And so what was going on in your life in May of 2018, in May of 2017, in October of 2018? These things are coming into this now. So if you can look at them and you can find the cyclical patterns, and you can learn the lessons, and you can progress yourself forward in a way that really is beneficial for you. So there's this whole awareness factor that needs to come into play. And then we have that full moon in Taurus, which is about taking your dreams and creating stability and a plan and making them practical and getting them going, and it's creative energy. And the full moon in Taurus, this is the beaver full moon. It's that creative building structures. Because it's in Scorpio, it's about diving deep into your emotions before you can come up into the womb of creativity. And so you have to work through some emotions, doing some of that deep diving. I know Aquarius doesn't particularly like going deep into emotions, but I don't really know that you have a choice right now. I feel like with Mercury in retrograde doubling down on this, no, you got to review this, you got to revise this, you got to look at this again, you're going to have to deal with this. I feel like that might be why you're feeling so stabbed in the back, because things that you've been pushing off and going, I'm not dealing with that, I'm not dealing with that. I think the universe is saying you kind of got to deal with it right now. And so there's just a lot of energy that's tough and harsh. And so nurturing of yourself, taking care of yourself, loving yourself, treating yourself. If you need a nap, take a nap. Go to bed early. Take some stuff off of your plate. Allow the space for this to happen. Allow the space for this emotional work to take place. You can't keep pushing it off, I don't feel like. I feel like you're going to have to deal with it. And I don't think you wanted to. So, what am I missing here? There is a tendency with this full moon, because it's a stone moon, and it's about hanging on tightly to our resources, and that you need to open up and allow the flow by releasing some things. So clear some energy in your life. Literally give away some stuff. Clear out your cupboards. Do something. Pick a drawer. Just do something. Clear the leaves out of the yard. Doing some actual physical clearing energy to kind of shift around the energies. Be open to receiving. Taurus is about financial aspects, and so with Uranus there and this emotional energy, there might be a tendency to do a little retail therapy, so be careful of the overspending. So, okay, well, you showed up in the overall energy, so what I chose to do this week, instead of using tarot, I'm using the wisdom of the hidden realms, and you have the Ice Queen, ideas preserved, non-action, and entitlement. But this is, to me, the Ice Queen is like the Queen of Swords. It's that discernment. It's that ideas being processed, right? Preserved. What are the ideas that are worth saving? Also, because it's the snow and it's the frozen, it's like good ideas. Non-action, not taking active steps towards something right now, but instead working through the stuff that you've been pushing off to the side. I don't think you can push it off anymore. It kind of needs to be dealt with. So we have the Lady of the Mirror, reflection and non-judgment. We're going to be talking about this when we get to the Moon in Gemini in a minute. But the reflection, what you put out into the universe is reflected back at you. Self-reflection is about going deep and studying who you are, and knowing who you are, and becoming comfortable with yourself and loving who you are. But also the energy this week is really about what you're putting out into the universe. There's such a high probability of manifestation that you want to be putting out positive attitude and care and compassion and concern and hopefulness, so that you draw that energy back into you. Because if you're putting out negative and judgment and harsh and critical, it's going to come back. You're going to manifest that, and quickly. It's going to reflect right back to you. That's the energy. And so then we have the Lady of the Gift, generosity, receiving, and withholding. Wow, that is really, I don't know if you can see. It looks like spirit. It looks like clouds. It's very white and light. And so as you give, you will receive. The energy you put out is the energy you're going to get back. If you're generous and kind in nature, in the way you treat people, and in looking for the good in people and nurturing others, you will receive that back. But if you are tight-fisted with your compliments, tight-fisted with your judgments, like the harsh criticism, that's coming back. So choosing to pour love onto a situation this week is going to be critical to receiving what you really crave, which is love and acceptance. And it starts with love and acceptance of yourself. Forgiveness from others, well, that starts with accepting and forgiving yourself, and then forgiving others. So what you're putting out there is what you're going to get back. All right, so let's go ahead and get into this, the cards for the week. It's a really, this Scorpio season is so potent. There's just been so much going on. So we have the Jaguar, we have Flow. I've seen both of those. The Thunder, this is new. We have the Spiral. This is, I don't know what it's going to say, but we'll get to that in a moment. But being in flow with spirit, but the Spiral is about elevating. You've been here before. It's cyclical, right? Because when we were talking about what happened, 35 years ago, it's coming back. You have a higher perspective to look at it. What happened 18 months ago is circling around. It's coming back. So this is an opportunity to elevate, to do things differently, to see things differently. And we have the Holy Mountain. And this is one we've seen before, should I too? So there seems to be some very common themes. Always check out your sun, your moon, and your rising. You might find that there's some themes that feel, as much as there's so many common themes, I feel like for some signs that some things are being doubled down on because there's so much repetitive. And so it's like being hit with the hammer and the spirit trying to get through to you. All right, so I'm going to take these in numerical order. So first we have Flow, and that's number 20. which is like the Two of Cups energy kind of feels like, you know, being in flow with spirit. It says there is a natural movement of events in the world. You can see it in the phenomenon such as the tide, the ebb and the flow of oceans and rivers that rise up from the earth, then flow to the sea. The symbol of flow represents the effortlessness and the natural movement toward a certain destination. It signifies the ability to gracefully move around obstacles and reminds you of the sense of allowing spirit to come in and bring you this information and this guidance. And so number 28 is the Jaguar. The Jaguar is the protector of life in the Amazon, and in times of fear, she brings courage and certainty. The Jaguar is at the top of the food chain and never becomes prey. With great stealth, she can track her mark from a distance and not be seen or heard. She moves gracefully through the jungle, relishing the abundance of the rainforest, fearless and at ease. Jaguar knows the way beyond death and its master of the shadows, blending invisibly between light and dark, night and day. This is integrating the shadow and the light of your life and loving all the parts of you. That's part of it. So then we have the Holy Mountain. I missed that. There we go. Holy Mountain. Native people around the earth recognize mountains as a place of great power where one encounters spirit or where the gods or the goddesses reside. In ancient Greece, Mount Olympus, the home of the 12 gods and goddesses. In Tibet, a pilgrimage circumambulates Mount Kailash, I'm not sure, Kilash. They go around and around, and it's that spiral action of going around the mountain and seeing things from a higher elevation. You've been here before, but now you're at a higher elevation. And so that's that pilgrimage that goes on there. And then in Peru, the pilgrims climb the ice-capped Mount, Ausangate, Ausangate, to receive the starlight and bring fire to the earth. All right. 50, the spiral, which goes really great with the Holy Mountain. From galaxies to the sky to diminutive shells at the beach, the spiral is found extensively in the natural world. Its shape is the form of a coiled serpent that has been used since ancient times as a tool for growth and transformation. The spiral is a guide for entering deep into one's consciousness and the unknown, and then extending far out into the heavens. It is crucial to surrender to this journey until the exhausted paradigm dissolves in the depths of the psyche and its energy is released to give birth to a new reality. That exhaustion is you having to be faced with the same lesson over and over and over again. And now is the time to integrate it, the light and the dark, to see what it is, to ask not, why does this always happen to me, but what am I supposed to learn from this? What have I learned? Where is the growth? If you can do that, if you can release it, if you can release the negative attachment to it, the resentment, the sense of lack from it, and instead see it for the lesson that it was and the opportunity to release karma, you can move forward. You can go further and higher up into your journey. Otherwise, you're going to have to repeat the lesson. Ugh. Please don't put yourself through that. And the lessons get harder every time. So, and then the last one, thunder. Legend speaks of great thunder beings who live in the sky and call for your attention when great occurrences are meant to happen in the world. They warn when tension in a situation are called upon to be released. Their presence in your reading reminds you of the dramatic moments in life that change everything. Both awesome and frightening when thunder arrives. it is also a wake-up call, one that you will not soon forget. So it's a lot like the tarot card, the Tower, where structures that were faulty, not built solid, not built to last, are going to come crashing down. So the question becomes, can you allow for that to happen and know that you will find your way through it as the Jaguar does, from night into day? Will you find your way through it? Will you get into the flow with spirit? Will you climb that holy mountain and learn the lesson? What you reflect out into the world is going to reflect back to you. And now at this very key moment of this full moon, it is happening. The full moon is happening in that 4th house of home. So it could be structures around the home that need to be renegotiated in some way. Mercury is in retrograde. I want to caution you that what other people are saying and what you are saying may not be clearly understood. Because I feel like communication is going to be happening in a way. Wow, you have expect a powerful change. You have the new moon eclipse. That would be happening coming up in January. And luck is on your side. The new moon in Sagittarius, which is coming up in 2 weeks. So boom, boom. It feels like if you can ride in the flow of this, there is a powerful change coming, and it may not feel like it's a good thing, but luck is on your side. These things, the structures that are falling, are moving out of the way so that you can ascend. So you can move on to that joy and that happiness. When that moon moves into Gemini at 3:36 a.m. Eastern Standard Time here in the United States, there's a very public aspect to this. This is the part where what you are putting out in the universe is certainly coming back to you. If you're being boastful, be careful how you present yourself. Because people are really, communication is muddled. But you should be seeking what the pleasure. Whoa, that was a weird. Okay, hold on. Okay, this one. What else is going on here? Thank you. Okay. You should be seeking what brings you the real, true joy and pleasure in your life. What is actually moving you forward. But this is a time of self-reflection, of a little bit of a deep dive, going in and seeing what is it that is actually calling to your soul that brings in the pleasure. You have past life issue. Yeah, we all do. That's what's happening right now. The situation has a basis in one of your previous lifetimes. Ask your angels to remember to release and to learn and heal from your past life experiences. Ask Saint Michael to come in and cut the cords of negative energy that are tying you to this, whatever this energy is, this contract that you made with yourself, with others, the soul contract that is negative and it's karmic and it needs to be released. It could be around a sense of lack, a sense of loss, a sense of poverty consciousness, a sense of not being good, self-worth. It feels very second sacral chakra to me. But let's see what else we get here. Oh, heal away addictions. It is time to let go of behaviors that are blocking you from your heart's desire. Ask Archangel Raphael to help you with this healing. Ask to be covered in the green light of healing from Archangel Raphael. Envision it and relax into it. Clean up your diet. You have vegetarian, vegan. Fresh organic fruits and vegetables give you a boost of high life force energy, which elevates your spiritual frequency. If you have a strong Sagittarius in your chart, they also have this one. And so I feel like in that case, that really how you're choosing to eat consciously. Oh, and I want to say grace. Say grace so you can clear any negative energy out of food sources. So say you don't want to go vegan, say you don't want to go vegetarian, but at least say grace so that you think, ask for blessings on the lives that were sacrificed to nourish you, and that the negative energy is released that is stored in the food. If they were like traumatized on the way to slaughter or something. Wow, you are profoundly clairvoyant. Trust what you see in your mind's eye as well as with your physical sight, for your spiritual vision helps the healing, the teaching, and the guidance. Spend some time in meditation. tap into your own energy to start, and then you can start tapping into the energies around you. You can start to understand. You know how you're like, oh, I knew I should have done that. I knew there was going to be a problem. I should have gone the other way. When you start saying stuff like that, that's your clairvoyance. That's your higher self talking to you. So start granting them access by saying, oh, I should go a different way. Okay, I'll go a different way. And you may not know what it was that didn't happen that was better, but just trust the process. I am so lightheaded right now. My back hurts and I am so lightheaded. There is so much going on in your energy right now, Aquarius. Wow. Holy crap. I feel like you really need to ground into the earth. So practice sitting on the floor and visualizing roots going down into the earth. Go barefoot. Sit with your back against a tree. Get out in nature. I feel like you need a little grounding here. So definitely you need sleep and unconditional love. When that moon moves into Cancer, and Cancer is the house of the mother, the nurturer. For you, though, it is happening in your 6th house of work-life balance. But we started out with that energy at the beginning. This is about the self-love, self-care, the nurturing of yourself, and the finding the balance in your life, finding the beauty and the joy in the now moment, committing to yourself, to nurture yourself, to love yourself, to rest when you need to eat properly, to drink adequately fresh water. And remember that you are resilient. When you cut out what is not working, that is when the new growth can come in. So be willing to release with this full moon anything that is holding you back, the past life negative karma. It's like a clogged up system. And so just ask St. Michael to come in and to cut those cords of negative energy. When I did that, I actually saw the cords. They were pulsating and they were dark and it was energy. So whether or not you actually can see it, when you do it, you can still visualize that you see it. You can still visualize the sword cutting, slicing through it. And then visualize the green healing light of Archangel Raphael. Think of yourself as a plant that's cutting off the dead, frostbitten, damaged foliage. And then the healing to allow for new growth. Okay? All right, so these are postcards from Spirit. I have one. If you have Taurus significantly in your chart, they had so many, I was only going to read one, and then I felt like, oh, I really need to read all of them, so there's a part 2 video on that. So, here we go. Dearest you, do you know how much we love you and want to help you? We are here for you, and we hear you ask for guidance, but you must let go and let us help you. You don't have to do it all. You've done your part, and now let us do ours. You would be awestruck if you knew how many strings were being pulled through the matrix to give you what you need and desire. Spirit has a plan, and when you sign up to be a co-creator, you don't need to remember to... When you sign up to be a co-creator, you need to remember to allow partnership. It is not one-sided. Your desires and plans meet up with those of Spirit. Remember, though, Spirit's timetable and ideas of how things will play out may be quite different from yours. Trust us, Spirit's ideas are amazing. Now let go and let us do the magic. Pay attention to the other areas of your life, and before you know it, the miracle will have taken place. We love you so much. That is actually the same one that Capricorn got. So if you have strong Capricorn in your chart, there's a situation that requires you to be patient and allow things to happen. And so while you're allowing for whatever to take place over there, you spend your time loving yourself, caring for yourself, being good to yourself. And just allow Spirit to take care of whatever's going on over there. Okay? All right, you take care of yourselves. I mean that. Get some rest. drink plenty of water, eat healthy foods, say grace before you eat or drink, bless the food and the energy that comes into your body and replenish, and understand that this is just part of the process, but it starts with self-love. It starts with unconditional love of yourself and forgiving yourself, and then once you can do that, forgiving and loving others becomes so much easier. You can do this. All right, you take care, and we'll talk soon.